And it looks like we're live. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Daily Freedom Podcast. I am your host, Fernando Lopez, and today I'm interviewing Kentucky Gallahue, who along with his Golden Doodle Derby competes in and wins dog surf contests in California and Hawaii. The two are known internationally and have appeared multiple times on national television, including the Amazon Prime reality show The Pack and Netflix Pet Stars. Kentucky, welcome.
Thank you so much, Fernando. Man, it's so good to be here. I mean, this is going to be amazing.
Dude, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be amazing. Oh my gosh. We have Glenn here in the audience with us. Thanks, Glenn, for introducing me to Kentucky. And I'm very excited to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Glenn told me amazing things about you. And the reason why I wanted to interview you is because of the book.
Oh, yeah.
So let's start with the book.
Okay.
What is this book about? You have a best friend who is Derby, California. And, there's a beautiful story there of how you rescue each other. Mm-hmm. But before we go to the story, tell us about the book.
Okay. So I've always wanted to write a children's book about Derby, my 11-year-old golden doodle, and how we met, how we moved to California, and we started surfing together. And it's such an amazing story, and I wanted to share it with everybody. And I'm a kid at heart myself, and I relate to kids a lot better. So I was like, how much better way to express this and through a children's book? It's something I've always wanted to do, but I've had trouble beginning. About 4 or 3 years ago, I was trying to do it. Tried to find some people to help me do it because I didn't know what I was doing. The big thing is I had the story in my head, but I don't articulate well on paper. So I didn't know how to get the story out of my head on paper. And the day that I started working for my friend here, Glenn Millar, he kind of asked me one day, it's like, so what are you doing with Derby and everything? I said, man, I want to write this book, but I don't know how to write it. And he's like, I'm a writer. I'm like, you want to write a book with me? And that's where it started.
Wow.
So we wrote a book called The Adventures of Derby, California. Derby Learns to Surf. Like I said, it's about how Derby and I meet, become best friends, help each other out, and move to California and start surfing in dog competitions.
So there are dog surfing competitions. I didn't know until a moment ago.
I moved here 7 years ago, and I didn't know that there were dog surfing competitions. It's a crazy story of how we even started surfing together, it's just happened. But when I moved here to San Diego, OB, we kind of fell in love with OB. We love the environment. We love the people. We love the surf. And I was like, man, I want to learn how to surf. And one of the first things you do is you go to Costco and you buy your first soft top surfboard, you get your wetsuit on. And I decided to take my first time out over at Ocean Beach, Dog Beach. And Derby, I figured would go and play with the other dogs while I was learning to surf. And that was not the case. So I'm out there learning to surf, and he keeps following me out there to the point where he's like swimming. Like he doesn't want to be around anybody else like me. So I was like, well, let's see if he'll even get on this thing. So I put him on a board, push him in a tiny wave. This dog rides this wave standing up all the way to the beach, turns around and looks at me like, is this what you're trying to do? This looks pretty easy. So I was like happy, but mad at the same time. Like, that's really cool. But he just learned to surf before I did. Like, I haven't even tried yet. And that was just a crazy story how that happened. And through that, we kind of kept doing it. One guy came up to me one day and said, hey, man, they got dog surfing competitions here in San Diego. And I was like, really? He said, yeah, you should look into it. It was like 6 or 7 weeks later, I signed up for it. It was in Imperial Beach as a dog competition that they used to have. And I had never been to a human surf competition, let alone a dog surfing competition. So I didn't really know what to expect. And Derby got like 5th or 6th out of 30 dogs. Wow. Everybody was like, where'd y'all come from? Like, how long y'all been doing this? I mean, we've been doing this for 6 weeks. I have no idea. But through that, I started to learn how to surf a little better. And now we surf together tandem and together on the waves. And it's been amazing. And through that, it's opened up a lot of doors and brought us here today.
It's amazing. Check out this. So I'm sharing the screen right now with folks. So Derby is also surfing backwards.
Yes. I don't know why, but like, it's just something he likes to do sometimes. Even when he surfs by himself, he likes to surf backwards sometimes. Sometimes he surfs forward. It's kind of like, I'm pretty laid back. So whatever he wants to do, it's what he does. But the cool thing about this video, it shows that everybody always asks me, is like, do you force Derby to do this? Does he like it? And I'm like, you don't understand. Like,
is there consent?
Yeah, they're like, is he really wanting to do this? Or is this something you want to do? And I totally get people wanting to think that, but like this video shows, as soon as he gets to the beach, he runs back out and wants to do it again.
Wow.
And like, I don't have to go chase him. We get back on the board, we go do it again until he's like, all right, I'm tired, I'm done for the day. I'm like, all right, cool. So yeah, it's something he wants to do, and he likes to do everything with me. And not only we do that, we have a motorcycle sidecar we ride around San Diego with. We have a bicycle sidecar. I'm all about riding different modes of transportation with my dog and seeing what we can do next. So it's been fun.
So this was a Christmas parade?
It was the Gas Lamp Pet Parade, Christmas parade this past year. And we were one of the grand marshals. But yeah, and then as you can see, Derby and I usually have blue mohawks. Yeah, we have blue mohawks. We both wear sunglasses, and we like to dress up and have fun and just put smiles on everyone's faces.
There you go. I love that.
Thank you.
Smiles on everyone's face. Let me get a blue mohawk picture here. Let's see this one here.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, it's probably go a little further back.
Further back. Okay.
Yeah. There's one right there.
This one here.
Yep. There's both wearing the same glasses and blue mohawks. And yeah, we're telling everybody about our new book.
Wow, amazing. So in the book, what's in the book?
So in the book, it's kind of like this is Glenn came up with this, a mostly true story, which is amazing because people think we made this story up, and it's kind of based on factual things that happened.
Yeah.
I got Derby when like I said, he's 11 years old. I got Derby when he was a year and a few months from a loving family when I was living in Georgia that just didn't have time for him. Okay. He had eaten 2 dresses. He had pulled a turkey off the counter.
Oh my.
They had 2 kids, one on the way, and they realized like he just needs more guidance. They found out I was looking for a doodle through a friend and that I'd had dogs all my life. And they basically said, look, we're going to give him to you. So they gave him to me. And I realized Derby only knew the family, his kennel, and the backyard. He never really got associated with other people, other dogs. So I lived in Midtown Atlanta, and I started taking him out. He didn't realize other people were in the world, other dogs were in the world. A car door would slam. He was really skittish. He would pull out of his leash. And I told him at that point, I was like, look, I'm going to be here with you. I'm going to take you on fun adventures, but just know that I'm going to comfort you. And together, we're going to get through this together.
Wow.
And through that, it built his confidence up. He started wanting to do more things. And then like we would go to baseball games, we'd go camping, we went canoeing and all these crazy things. And he found out like, hey, as long as I'm with you, everything will be okay. And so through that, then our next adventure was moving to California and then learning to surf together and building up his confidence to want to do that with us. So
wow,
it's all about like just being there for each other and building each other up and showing that like you can get through anything, as long as you have if you can have people that have your back.
Yes, absolutely. I remember having a few dogs growing up. My dad used to train dogs for security purposes. Yeah. So Dobermans and German Shepherds. Yeah. And but I never had that experience that you just described. And I've heard friends describe the experience, that loving experience. And I'm like, wow, that's so beautiful. And I've heard that, I think you told me this before we started recording, how maybe it wasn't that some human rescued a dog. Sometimes the dog is the one. And
it's through my story and where I was at the time. I was living in Atlanta at the time. I had been a bartender for 20 years through college with my friends. We used to own and build bars and restaurants and nightclubs all through the Southeast. And I had so much fun doing it. Loved that life. But in that life, drugs and alcohol is really prevalent. Like it's part of the life. And you partying, you're partying all night, you're just doing things all weekend, and the rest of the week you're kind of down. And that last couple of years, when I moved right before like 2015, 2014, I could feel it really weighing heavy on me to the point where like depression was setting in, like things weren't really going right. But the only constant I really had at the time was my dog, and Derby was always there. And I tell people like, I feel like I saved Derby, but he also saved me, because at the time I would work and party all weekend, and all week I'd just stay in my apartment. And it's not very good to do that. Like, you need to get out and meet people or just be out and about. And the only reason I would leave my apartment was because of my dog, is because he either had to go walk or he had to be taken out. But now somebody else depended on me, and I wanted to give myself to somebody else to help them as much as possible. instead of just depending on me or just thinking about me and staying in my apartment. So I feel like if I had stayed there stayed there in Atlanta longer, I probably wouldn't be here today. I had an incident where it's still burned in my mind where, you know, a rough week of partying, hanging out in my apartment for way too long. And I have a pistol. And I just remember waking up one day on the couch and not knowing how my pistol got on my coffee table. Because I was like, and I kind of put it together. Like, that's the time I was like, I'm done. This is, you know, I don't want to be here anymore. And like, I figured like, this is it. But then I fell asleep and woke up and I was like, that was a close call.
Yeah.
And that was my wake up moment. Like, I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
And it didn't care where. I just needed to get away.
Yeah.
And my sister and her husband lived in San Diego, and she's always knew something was going wrong. My family knew things were going on. And they were like, just come out here. We've got a place for you to stay. Just come out here.
Wow.
What do you got to lose? So I packed up my truck, which in the book, it says we packed up my truck. If it didn't fit, I sold it or left it. Took us 3 days to get across the country. And I'll tell you, that was a hard 3 days. I had never been on the West Coast before, especially on myself. And I could not have done it without Derby. There were some times I was questioning, like, is this the right thing to do? But, you know, just having Derby there just gave me the confidence just to keep going and figure it out. We got here, still kind of lost in a phase, like a fog, didn't know what I was going to do. And through my sister's help and my family and some friends, just kind of started my life over. I got here when I had $200 in my pocket. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I even joked to people that I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll sell coconut carved heads at the beach. But which is funny that now that through our business, I sell our books, our tie-dye hoodies at the beach sometimes.
That is awesome.
So it's just kind of come to a full circle. Like, yeah, like it'll all be okay. But like, I've just realized that, you know, Derby saved me and I saved him, and we kind of made it happen.
I know somebody that can supply the coconuts.
That's awesome.
And he lives here.
If I can teach Derby to hold a knife and carve coconut heads, we're in.
So let's talk about the merch here. I'm sharing the screen here.
Oh, totally. So we one thing when I first moved here, I used to go to the OB Farmers Market. Fell in love with it. Used to go every week. Still kind of go when I can. And I met a guy who did tie-dye. And I kind of asked him, and this was 2016. I said, hey man, do you think you could tie-dye a hoodie for me? He said, yeah, if you bring it to me, it's cotton, I'll do it. So I had him do it. And I'll be honest, throughout growing up, tie-dye was not my thing. Like, I like colors and everything, and I like being bright, but like, I don't know. I always think of tie-dye as that tie-dye that you go at summer camp where it's just a color wheel of circles on a t-shirt. But when I saw his stuff, how he marbled it, I was like, that's pretty cool. And I started getting into it. He made his first tie-dye hoodie for Derby. Derby started wearing it. People started asking about it. I was like, man, maybe we should start a tie-dye company or a hoodie company. And it was always an idea forever. But then, like I said, but then we got on the show, and which we'll talk about later. And through the show, we gained some was recognized more, and we were able to start our own business, Derby, California, and we started a hoodie company where we make tie-dye hoodies for you and your dog to match, because we're all about the matchy. And they're 100% cotton. We've sold these all over the world. You can get them on our website, derbycalifornia.com. We make to order. But yeah, the orders come in every winter and sometimes in the summer, and people send us pictures of their dogs, their cats, all wearing these tie-dye hoodies, and then them wearing the same hoodie matching. This is our camo hoodie right here is what I'm wearing. But yeah, they're all about the matchy.
Let's go into this chart here.
Yeah,
this dog hoodie size chart.
Yes. So that we have 11 different sizes, from extra small, which is a tiny little like puppy type deal, to 7XL. I've sold to people who have had Great Danes and Saint Bernards who wear our hoodies.
What?
And it's so awesome to see pictures of these dogs wearing these big dogs wearing hoodies. And yeah, and then we make them for adult sizes for you to match. And it's been amazing. And sometimes, you know, I'll be riding around San Diego and I'll see some people out with their hoodies, and I'm like, hey, what's up?
That is awesome. Okay, let's now talk about how you got picked up in the TV shows.
Yeah. So like one thing when Derby and I started surfing, I thought it'd be cool to start his own Instagram. And everybody all used to ask me, did you do this to become famous? I'm like, no, I basically did it because I thought it was funny, and I think it would be funny for people to see it. Even when we started dyeing our hair the same color and everything and wearing sunglasses, and I would do it just so people from the East Coast would see some of the stuff we were doing. Yeah. And kind of just took off, and I would hand out these cards about, hey, check out our stories if you want to see all the dumb stuff we do, all the funny stuff we do. and it just kind of took off. And then a casting producer from Amazon reached out to us through Derby's Instagram, which is kind of funny. They sent us a DM and it said, do you like to go on adventures with your dog and would love to travel the world? But we get a lot of crazy stuff, spam, and our thing. So I deleted it.
You did? Of course you did.
Another surf dog mom got the same one because I think they were just kind of finding dogs to do this. And they said, this looks like something you would do. So my fiance said, I'll respond. So she responded. That next 2 weeks, they wanted us on Zoom meetings, talking about what our story, what we do. And they were like, can we fly you? Can we have you come up to LA and do a little thing? And did it. And then all of a sudden we're on this show called The Pack on Amazon Prime, which is just like Amazing Race, but with your dog. So 12 contestants and their dogs travel the world trying to win $500,000 doing all these adventures in cities and clues and trying to get to the finish line. And it was a great time.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. And there's a billboard here.
We had a billboard in Sunset Boulevard in LA and in Times Square in New York.
Wow.
Derby's actually a world traveler. He's been to Mexico City, Costa Rica,
My goodness.
Vienna, Austria, Interlaken, Switzerland, Florence, Italy, Paris, London.
What?
Yeah. If you ever get a chance to watch it, there's 10, we're on every episode. It's 10 episodes. I won't tell you if we won or not.
Okay.
But there are 10 episodes and we're on every one of them. But yeah, there's Derby and I right there, rafting down the river in Costa Rica.
I just love this so much.
We did some crazy stuff. We flew in a helicopter above LA. We rappelled down the face of a waterfall with Derby dangling between my legs.
Oh my God.
We climbed to the top of the O2 Arena in London. We were on top of the Swiss Alps in Switzerland.
Oh, wow.
So we did a lot of crazy things. But it was a fun adventure. Got to meet so many new friends.
How about this one, the Florence, this dog here?
So that is his wife, Snow. And that's a whole nother story. So throughout the show, another owner, he's our good friend Josh. He's a groomer up in LA, and he had a poodle named Snow, and he would dye her in beautiful different colors. And the producers were like, story producers like, do you think they like each other? And they actually did. They like played together a lot. And they're like, you think they're boyfriend and girlfriend? I'm like, yeah, we can say that. But they actually really do like each other a lot. And so they did a storyline about them becoming boyfriend and girlfriend.
What?
And then after the show, all the fans would send us drawings of Derby and Snow, and we're like, do you think they'll ever get married? And so me and 7 of our other castmates from the show decided to do an RV trip across the country, sponsored by Dog TV. And we started on the East Coast, made our way all the way across the country in 7 days. One of the stops was Las Vegas at the Little White Wedding Chapel.
What?
Where Derby and Snow got married by an Elvis impersonator.
Wow.
There's some pictures on there, but it's further back in our Instagram. But yeah, they got married on Dog TV.
Let's go to your Instagram here. Let me share this real quick with everyone.
Yeah, and our Instagram is Derby, California.
All right, so let's go back.
So that was a couple of years ago. So you're gonna have to go back a few.
Okay, cool.
But yeah,
this is amazing.
Yeah,
you got the vet here.
Yeah, he's always safety is a big part of dog surfing.
What? Oh, this is great. At the
Golden Gate Bridge up in San Francisco. That's one of the competitions is up there in Pacifica.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great shot right
yeah.
here. What are you guys flying?
So we're on a hydrofoil in Hawaii.
Oh my gosh! All right, so let's find the wedding.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back a while because this is still part of a thing. Yeah, you got to go back. That's Snow. She's pink in there.
Are you serious?
We did a thing with Kempton Hotels, and they invited us for the weekend to stay at a hotel.
Oh
my God. So we go to Padres games right here with our friend, our other surf buddy, Rothstein. He's a surf dog too.
This is too good. And folks, if you haven't been to Ocean Beach, there's a beach called Dogs Beach, which I always take friends to, and I tell them it's going to be the happiest place on earth.
Yes, it's one of the biggest dog beaches where it's off leash. I even tell people who visit, I was like, dude, if you love dogs, you've got to go to Dog Beach and just watch all these dogs playing in the water, playing in the sand with the other dogs. It's amazing.
Yeah, if therapy is not working for you, go to Dog Beach.
Yes, totally.
You're gonna be happy right away.
Totally.
And see the dogs bring the human human owners there.
Yes, it's such a fun time. This is one of Derby's best waves right here. If you want to hit that one, this is him doing solo up in Huntington Beach.
Wow.
And then he jumps off right when he knows.
What? And there's a GoPro on the board.
I actually lost that GoPro in that one.
Oh, really? Oh.
But yeah, that's one of his best ways. He's had singles, but during the competitions, there's 3 divisions. There's solo, which we push them into a wave. There's tandem dog, where they surf with other dogs, and then there's tandem dog human. And so we compete in all 3 of them.
This is just wonderful. Wow.
There's his girl right there too. We're at
strike and pose.
Yep. I was on a Jay Leno show called You Bet Your Life because of the show.
Oh wow.
Jay Leno, so it's basically a 5-question show that Jay Leno does, and I became a contestant. A producer kind of found me afterwards, probably last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I get there and I see all these other contestants, and I'm talking to them, and they're like, "How did you get on the show?" And everybody's like, "Oh, I submitted a form a couple years ago, or a couple months ago. Everything. Oh, I put in a film." And then they come to me and they're like, and they find people who do kind of crazy things, and mine was dog surfing. And they asked, "Well, how did you get here?" And I said, "Did you apply?" And I was like, "No, they asked me to be here." And they're like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, y'all didn't get asked to be here." And they're like, "No." And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "What do you do?" And I told them, I was like, "Me and my dog surf." And they're like, "No way." So, and the cool thing about it is I talked to one of the producers, the main producers, and he talks to me right before we're about to go on. He goes, "I mean, I love your energy. I love the thing." He said, "Did they tell you how you got on the show?" I said, "No, I just kind of got asked to be on it." He said, "So Jay and I were taking a break and we were watching the news, and we saw one of your dog competitions was on the news, and we saw you and your dog surfing. And Jay looked at me and said, 'Go find that guy because I want him on the show.'" Wow. So like just dog surfing has brought so much cool stuff for us, and made things happen. It's so amazing.
And they had you up on the screen.
Yeah, they were talking about like what I do and what we do, and me and my partner ended up winning some money, so it was pretty cool. Wow. I wish Derby could have come, but this wasn't possible.
All right, very cool. All right, so let's keep scrolling. This is awesome. Congrats on that.
Yeah, totally. This is some art that people have sent us, a couple of things. Probably have to go back even further. This is our RV trip. We went to Nashville with some of our contestants right here that were on the Amazon show. Oh my! We stopped in Nashville.
What a life!
Yeah.
Cool tattoo, bro.
Yeah, man, I got an arm tattoo.
Nice.
We met Lance Bass at a dog thing from what's his name? Why am I blanking on that? Backstreet Boys.
Oh, that's cool. Nice. Oh, I love this shot right here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, we're stuffed in a car when we were going on a trip.
That's awesome. This one. Oh yeah, my God.
Him and his girl were paddleboard. We were paddle boating.
Man, match made in heaven.
Yeah, we were at the Grand Canyon, back in Kentucky for a while. We became a therapy dog team also. So this is what we do here. We go to schools and hospitals and nursing homes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because we're all about helping people out, just need a little extra that day.
Yes.
So we go to schools. We go to like UCSD and help students during like midterms and stuff like that. try to de-stress and stuff like that. So it's been fun.
All right. And this is amazing. And are you still doing still
a therapy dog team.
Okay, awesome. So folks, you listening, watching, there'll be a contact.
This is we were on a Netflix show called Pet Stars because of basically dog surfing. There it is. So they kind of saw us surfing at one of our competitions and asked us to be part of the show. And we're like, yeah, totally.
Wow. It's amazing. That mohawk is.
Yeah, so it's cool to be on that. Yeah, see, we both got the same glasses. We kind of have a sunglass problem because if I buy one pair, I gotta buy two.
Yeah, good. That's a good problem. Oh, so folks, if you own a sunglass company,
yes, we'd love to work with a sunglass company.
Yes, so
that would be amazing.
Yes. Also sponsors here. All right, cool. So let's keep scrolling. We're looking for that.
Yeah, we were on that show in 2020. Yeah, they were at taking a nap together.
Oh, I love this.
We got
one.
we still get fan art from all over. I just got a fan art from two boys from Johannesburg, South Africa.
So this was fan art.
This is fan art from another fan, but we just got one. I haven't even posted yet, but like, yeah, we still get fan art from people all over the world.
Wow. This is amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, we're all about just connecting with our fans and having a good time.
Oh wow, man! His girlfriend really gets a production on that.
Yes, definitely.
That purple.
Yeah, Josh
lavender.
So this is when Derby asked about well, that came up on James Corden's show, and we didn't even make that happen. They found that.
Oh wow!
They were talking. They were talking about dogs with sunglasses. All of a sudden, he just flipped this up. Just made a joke about it. So like we didn't even. Somebody else had to tell us that had happened.
Wow.
If we go up, this is when Derby asked Snow to marry him. We did a video. And then so I think if we go back, if we go up a little further, we'll probably see pictures from the wedding. I just gotta see where I put them suckers. If not, you definitely find them on our stuff. I just don't know where those things were.
Well, this is getting even more recent, isn't it? Like older.
Well, he has to get married. He has to marry her, so it'd probably be further up.
Okay, yeah, got it.
So it'd be further up. We might have just passed it. I just didn't see it.
Okay.
Keep going down. Keep going down. As soon as I notice, I'll recognize it.
Is this the honeymoon?
That was one of them. They hung out. There she is. There's another version of her. Where is that wedding photo? That's me and my fiance getting engaged.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, that's at Sunset Cliffs right down the street.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a truck with a deck on top, and we sit up there and watch the sunset go down. If you ever come to San Diego, definitely check out Sunset Cliffs. It's amazing. It's beautiful. One of the best sunsets I've seen in the world.
Absolutely. Congrats, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I tell people, so we have a business called Derby California, and it's an LLC. And I tell people I'm the founder of Derby California, but my fiance Kenya is the CEO. She makes all the decisions, and I'm just the face. Me and Derby are just the face.
That is just remarkable. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So let's see. So we talked about a little about the Amazon. How Amazon picked you up, then Netflix, a few other TV shows. You wrote the book. You told me one of the reasons was to bring smiles to people.
Totally.
And it's a kid's book. Do you have kids?
I do not. And we are in the process of getting married this year, and we've already been talking about it. Yeah. I can't wait to be a stay-at-home dad.
Yes. I've
already told my fiance, I was like, I can't wait to be a dad, but I would rather be a stay-at-home dad. Absolutely. And maybe that will happen. I don't know, but like that would be amazing. But like everybody else's kids, like if we go to like parties and people's kids there, and everyone's like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm gonna go play with them over in the Jumpy Bounce house."
Exactly. Yes.
So it's just, I don't know. I just relate to them a little bit better and everything else. But yeah, but no, I can't wait to have kids.
Absolutely. Same here. So kids book, you have the message. What is the message of the book?
The very message is basically, what would you say, Glenn? The message of our book.
Building confidence, doing what you didn't think you could do.
Exactly.
Knowing there's people around you that love you and will support you while you're doing those things. And it's all good all the time.
All good all the time. That's another one of our mottos. All good all the time. Like here, I can give you a sticker right now. Derby California sticker.
Thank you.
All good all the time.
All good all the time. Man, I gotta get one of those mohawks.
So yeah, but yeah, it's just been an amazing ride. We're hoping it still keeps going, but if not, I'm still gonna go surf with my best friend.
Yeah,
and put smiles on people's faces.
And for that intention of yours, a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
What needs to happen?
One, my fiance, soon-to-be wife, needs to make more money.
Yeah.
Or we need to sell a lot more books.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's probably the thing. But like I said, if it doesn't happen, if not, I'm going to have so much fun with my little ones and everything. And hopefully, if Derby's still around, which I hope, it would be amazing. If not, we'll always have dogs in our lives.
Yeah.
So
yes, absolutely. Have you thought of how many kids you have?
No, not yet. I mean, we still got to get the first one done and see how that goes. But I'm sure it's going to go amazing.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. And you mentioned that one of the gifts that you can give to two schools here in the San Diego area is for them to have you come and speak to their students.
Yeah. So
tell us more about
that.
that.
So ever since the book came out, I've always wanted to read to schools and go to schools with Derby. That's one reason we became a therapy dog team, just so that, he get used to being around people in situations like schools, hospitals. And we would love to go national, like travel around and go from state to state and say, hey, we're in your city. And teachers reach out if you would love for us to come do a book reading. We had started sending out author visit packages. If you're interested or know a teacher, email us at derbycalifornia@gmail.com, and we can send you an author's package of what it entails, what we do, how it works, and everything else. But that would be my main goal. I love working with my friend Glenn, being a handyman, but like if I could hang out with my dog every day would be a dream.
Awesome. Yes. And so Glenn was the co-author?
Yes.
Awesome.
Like I said, when I was trying to just figure out how to do this children's book thing, like I don't know what I was doing. And that one day after work, I was just kind of hanging out, and he was just like, what's going on with you and Derby? I was like, man, I don't know. Just, we're kind of still doing the hoodies. We're still doing our thing, but I really want to make this children's book. And I've tried with people and it just didn't work. Like there wasn't a connection, or their vision wasn't really my vision. And that's how we really became really good friends. Cause I'd work, come in, and we'd hang out and just start typing it out. I'd be like, all right, I got an idea. And he'd start typing, like, let me type something. He'd type. And then he'd read it back to me. I'm like, yes. And he got my understanding of like how I wanted it to flow. And then we'd go back and forth about stuff. And then we found an amazing illustrator. And I'm a firm believer of putting things out there, just like this podcast, putting things out there in the world and just see what happens. I basically, for our illustrator, I reached out to our fans on Instagram and Facebook and said, hey, we're doing a children's book. If you know somebody, or if you're an illustrator that'd be interested, let me know. We had 30 something people say, yeah, I know somebody, or I would love to be your illustrator.
Wow.
I broke it down to 10, looked at their stuff. I've had those 10 people and said, hey, well, draw me how you think Derby and I would look at it as a cartoon or a children's book. And we got so many different genres. It was so amazing. And but we settled on one, and she was amazing. Ashley lives in Florida, and she's an illustrator for her work, but she had never done a book with somebody else, an author. And she worked so well together and knew our vision, and it turned out so well. And the cool thing I'd love to tell people about our book, it's kind of an interactive book. Nowadays, I can go into a school and to ask these kids, do you know what QR codes are? And because of the pandemic, everybody knows what QR codes are now. You take your phone, you put a QR code on there, and it takes you to somewhere on a website. There are 5 or 6 QR codes throughout the book that the kids can use their parents' phones. If on the page, they use their parents' phones, it will take them to a 3-minute video of us doing what's on the page.
Wow.
So there's a part where Derby and I meet, and he's a puppy. There's a video of Derby when I didn't really see him as a puppy. There's videos of him as a puppy when the day we first met, getting our hair done at the same time, Derby learning tricks. Derby and I surfing, Derby riding around our motorcycle cycle. So it's like an interactive book, because people are always like, is this real? And then you can literally take your phone, it'll take you to our YouTube page, and it will show a video of us doing it for real.
Wow. Very interactive.
Yeah. So it's an awesome book. I don't think anybody else has ever done it before.
I've never heard of that.
So it's been amazing. So, but yeah, that's what you get in storage. It's not just a story. It's actually a real thing.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just imagining here folks and families that have just adopted a puppy or have a dog, and they want to create a new relationship between the kids and the dog.
Yeah.
Or even adults. Adults should buy this book too. and start having the motto that it's all good all the time.
Yeah.
It's all good all the time.
All good all the time. Yeah, that's what we live by, and like just want to just make people happy and put smiles on people's faces.
Absolutely. There's a coloring book.
We have a coloring book where it's basically the same story, but now the kids can change Derby's mohawk color.
I just love this so much. Cool. What is say something that you want to leave the audience with, a message, something that you can look back in time and go, you know what, that's still true 10 years in the future, 20 years in the future.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna, like, it's one of those things where if you're growing up and I was young and like things started getting hard and you just think this is only happening to me, and it's hard to get through somebody who's young. And even if I talk to myself if I could talk to myself, 15 years ago and be like, hey, this is what, I still wouldn't believe him. I'd be like, whatever, that's never going to happen to me.
Yeah.
And I like to tell people like, hey man, there's going to be tough times and tough struggles. And you think you can do it yourself. You're young and you're bold and you're like, yeah, this doesn't bother me. It affects everybody else, but it affects everybody. And it's in a different way or a different manner. And there's times it could go really south quickly. And I just want people to know that, hey, if you don't have a dog that you can be there to talk to, reach out to people. People always want to help. Family members, friends, they don't want to see their loved ones in a state that they just can't get out of. And like, that's depression, like it's part of it, but just know that you don't have to do it alone. And there's always going to be someone that's going to be there to help you.
I love that. I love that so much. Glenn, anything else that we need to touch on as the audience here and as the co-author?
Nope, we just we want people to know about the book, share it with the kids, have fun with it, and hopefully we've already got 2 more books planned in the idea stage. The eventual goal is cartoon, TV, or movie.
Yeah.
Don't know if we'll make it, but we're shooting for it. See what happens.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So since we're here, who would you guys like to have as connections? Who would you like to meet? Anyone in the world, if it was possible, so to speed up the implementation of your ideas and dreams?
So the big thing is like I said, I like throwing things out there in the world and just seeing who listens. You just never know.
Yeah.
And we've met a lot of cool people who've helped us in certain ways. But like right now, with this first book, we were able to do a Kickstarter just on our own, self-publish it, everything, pay for it with the Kickstarter. And we were able to raise over $12,000. And that was so amazing. All our fans were able to come together and really help us want to achieve our goal. And through that, we got our 2,000 books, and we've already sold 1,000 of them in the last 5 months. And it's been so awesome that people are really gravitated to it. But if we want to take it to that next level, we really need to get a publisher involved.
Yeah.
Just to kind of reach a broader audience, help us, think about like how we're going to do these other, we'd love to do a series. Because even in the, I tell people, if you read the book, the first part of the book, Derby doesn't call me Kentucky. He calls me the man with the blue mohawk. But at the end, he feels comfortable enough to me. He starts calling me his best friend, Kentucky. And I kind of got that from Curious George, because in Curious George, he has his friend, the man in the yellow hat. And I was like, man, I made a nod to that because I was like, man, this is how I want this book to kind of live on and basically do a series of Derby goes to the firehouse, or Derby goes to his first day of school. Derby learns Spanish. I mean, I'm pretty sure he could learn Spanish a lot better than I could. I kind of struggle through it.
Yeah. Yep. Keep talking.
So, but no, that's what we would love to find somebody, a producer or somebody in the book industry that can kind of point us in the right direction, or know somebody who knows somebody. Because like I said, I'm all about throwing it out there in the universe and just see what happens, but still working on trying to make our goals a reality.
Yeah. Glenn, any publisher that you'd like to work with?
Publisher, not necessarily, but if you ask me who I'd want, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
The most awesome voice in the world for Derby.
Yes.
So, and he produces, he acts. That would be the contact I would want.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
All right. So
that could happen.
Folks, if you know Ryan, please get in touch with Kentucky. What's your contact again?
Email us at derbycalifornia@gmail.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And let's see here what I have. Anything else before we start closing this amazing
We got
conversation?
those gifts.
Yeah, so we have the gifts, which is your visit to schools. So if
So for this, I'm sorry, for this podcast, if you're listening, if you buy a book and email me, if you would like a visit, the first 2 people who buy a book and respond to us, we will do a free author's visit to a school here in San Diego.
Awesome. If you're not in San Diego,
yeah.
they can still hire you to go and do a.
Totally. We do virtual too, virtual visits. We've done virtual class visits all over the United States, including Canada. So
awesome.
It's been awesome.
Very cool. Well, Kentucky, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Man, we had so much fun.
Yeah.
I want to give you one of our cards.
Oh my gosh.
Stickers, thing. Yeah.
Follow, tag me.
Yeah.
So check out this right here. I love to meet Derby.
Yeah. I mean, we're around OB. Hopefully one day we'll come by and say, hey.
Yeah, I'll meet you at the Dog Beach.
Yeah, totally.
The happiest place on earth.
Totally.
Glenn, any last words?
Yes, we want to say hello to all the kids out there. We think they'll love this book. We think their parents and teachers will. And it's just a great story of doing what you love and being supported by the people around you. And we think it's unique, it's fun, and kids seem to like it. They asked it to be read over and over again, and Kentucky loves reading it.
That's all I do. I love it.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Kentucky, thanks again.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Great meeting you.
Thank you.
And folks, get in touch with the links below. Buy the book. If you are an educator, works in a school, then get in touch with Kentucky and be the first one of two to get that gift, so that you can have the author's visit in your school and impact your children. And thanks for tuning in. Share, like, comment below some things that you take away from this conversation. And remember to live freely daily, and add love, growth, and freedom to your life. Thanks again for joining us.